Have you ever traveled through time? We do it every day.
Asgardia is a country with a population of more than 1 million people from more than 200 countries on Earth. Asgardia gives everyone equal opportunities, no matter what their earthly status is.
It is possible to create and live in the future right now. Are you ready? Forward progress is the solution to the entire human race. Our mission is to bridge new horizons. In Asgardia, there is no limit to the universal development in the fields of technology, finance, and arts. Asgardia is a new space and digital economy which creates opportunities for the global economy. We deliver innovations. Do you want to get on board with us? We are developing various kinds of digital businesses, attracting them to the Asgardia platform that can be backed by the means of our umbrella, i.e. franchising of the Asgardia brand. We can not only attract investments into space programs from prominent institutional investors, but also affordable amounts from the citizens of Asgardia. We comprise of more than 1 million people.
Asgardia is a chance to realize one's dream. This is a dream-driven space nation. Asgardia is a chance to belong to a community of free-thinking enthusiasts, goal-driven dreamers, and fearless innovators, theorists, and scientists.
We are the first space nation. One humanity, one unity.
Asgardia.
We are creating
the future.
Well, Rebecca is on there, so she might be able to tell.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. Well, if we're live, we'll make a start. So, good evening, good morning, good night, whatever your time of day is, to all of you watching from around the world. My name is Peter Morn. I'm the Deputy Chair of the Parliament of Asgardia, the first digital democracy and the first true space parliament. This is our weekly question and answer session with our chairman. Unfortunately, our chairman's not with us at the moment because he's flying across to take part in our celebrations for the solar eclipse, which is coming around shortly, and we're having a major celebration on the ground there in Texas. And he's making his way there now. His first flight today was sadly cancelled, so he had to wait for a later flight, and that's thrown his arrangements slightly out of kilter. But he will be with us when he can. Now, it's his custom to start these meetings with a number of announcements, and I have a major announcement, and that is that I don't have any announcements. So that's the first one. And the second one is, even now, I still don't have any announcements. Except to say, those of you who are here, it's lovely to see you. I think we're low in numbers tonight, but well, it's tonight where I am, because of the celebrations over in Texas. A lot of people involved in that, a lot of people busy with that, and therefore a lot of people won't be able to come. But we are here, and if anybody's got any issues to raise, and I know that Jakob does, so we'll go to him first.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much. Yeah, that is a difference, that you don't have any announcements. That is, yeah, interesting. That might be the first. Anyway, I do have something, and quite a serious thing also. We are currently working, there's a group that has already been working for a while on a standard for parliamentary document management. And I asked Lambert before the meeting whether I could have some time showing that and discussing that. But, well, now I'm sort of taking that opportunity myself. I would like to show you a graph, a flow chart of that parliamentary document management. And I also have a number of questions around it. And it would be very good to have a short discussion about that. Not a very long discussion, but at least something, because we have a few points to discuss and to maybe even decide upon on this. Is that okay that if I continue like that?
Yeah, go on, Jacob, by all means.
Very good. Okay, then I'll start by sharing this chart, this figure. Let me see where I can share my screen. And where is it? This is it. It's a flow chart. And it should show up by now. It is far too small. I know. I will enlarge it. But do you see it now?
No, I've got a blank screen here, Jacob.
Oh, that's a shame. My internet connection
that's better. We've got it now.
Oh, very good. Okay, yeah, I have quite a bad internet connection. I'll switch off my camera. That might help. And I hope that you still are able to see the flowchart then.
We can.
Okay, very good. I'll enlarge it now, so that only but you see that there's a flowchart. Huh? It has a number of the good flow is from left top to left bottom. At the left top it says start, and at the left bottom it says end. So it's a flow chart. And at the right there are flows that are going back a few steps every time. Yeah, I'll zoom in a bit. Okay, so that's it should be much better readable by now.
It is.
Very good. Okay, so what you see here is that what I did is I wrote down what I observed, how Parliament does its work. So it's not my idea. This flowchart is not my idea. I don't want to introduce anything new here, but in the past I did notice that we had some things not going very well sometimes during digital sittings, during ALFs and so on, when we were discussing act proposals and everything. And so I thought maybe, not even my idea, but Teresa Jones's idea, the idea was to write it down in a standard so that it becomes clearer to everybody. So I'm not trying to create an act or so, because there is an act on act, and it already explains a few things, but this standard makes it a bit more alive and more explicit on how we do things. Yeah. So what you see here, we start at the top, and that means that somebody comes up with an idea for an act proposal. So this person writes down core principles, and that's a first version. So it's a draft document, and it's an active document, and that's the left top part of this picture. It's preparation. And then when this core principles proposal is created and it has been discussed with a number of people in a parliamentary document, a parliamentary committee, somewhere in one of the parliamentary committees that we have, then it should undergo a light review by the Justice Committee. And then if it's okay, then it goes on to the first reading. And so it's over there and it is voted upon, and then it continues. And if things end up in discussions, then we go to the right, because if there's something about the light review, for example, that is in conflict with the Constitution or so, and they find out something that is not really right, then it can go to the right, and then it can, of course, continue, and then we will have a new version of it, and it just goes to the same step again. You can also conclude together with all of us that it might be better to postpone it a bit, like half a year or so, because we still need lots of discussions and blah blah blah, and we're not ready for it yet. And then we can postpone, and then we wait, and then eventually it just continues. We could also conclude that it's better to stop it, and then we withdraw it. Yeah, so those are typically three questions and possibilities that we have. And nothing new here. I'm just writing down what is happening. And if I'm not, then please correct me, because the idea is that if you go down, it continues like that in the second reading. So you have again a proposal, you again have the light review, you again have the second reading, you again have the voting, And again, when things end up in large discussions, we can go back to the right and eventually try again for the next time. And then when things go right again, we can have a third reading, working towards a third reading. And again, there will be a review, but this time a formal review with also the Minister of Manufacturing, Minister of Justice, sorry. I'm a Minister of Manufacturing, sorry, I made a mistake. Anyway, and the same can happen again, and it can again go back to the previous step if we have lots of discussions. But when everything goes well, we can have a third reading and then voting, and then we go to enactment, and then Head of Nation comes in, and he signs a decree, and then there's a definitive act, and then it ends. Yeah, and similar things will happen. And when you see on the right bottom of the screen, you see when we want to change an existing act, it happens in a similar way, but then we start halfway this flow chart. And similarly, when, for example, an act comes to the fact that another act has to be stopped because this one replaces.
I'm in the middle of a Zoom meeting, which I'm chairing, so I'm going to have to go back to it. Give me half an hour.
Okay. Yes. And so the idea is that we have a flow chart and we have a whole document around this, which explains this flow chart. So all the steps are defined in detail, and there's a section on version numbering that we could use, and there's blah, 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 blah. It's all in the document. Yeah. So this thing, I'll stop sharing now. This thing is in where is it? The AIS. I also wanted to share that one. Let me see. Because there is my share screen, and now I can say, okay, where is my there it is. I've got too many windows open. Sorry, got such a large screen, lots of windows. Anyway, slowly you should now see the screen coming up with the AIS, the Asgardia Institute of Standards. And do you see it already?
Yes, it's here.
Very good. And there are a number of standards in there. And so there's a menu called standards. So you now see that you see the menu of standards, and there you see the first standard about Asgardia branding, the second standard about languages, blah, 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 blah. And then further down at the end, the 8th standard is about parliamentary document management. And that one is the document that I just said about. It says, okay, this is the standard. Yeah, and it explains things. It explains what this is and what that is and blah, 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 blah. And I'll browse down, lots of text explaining things and so on. All those steps in detail, you should do that and he should do that and blah, blah, blah. And this is the version numbering and this is the blah, 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 blah. And then completely at the end, it has the same graph again. That's the same flow chart.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what it is. It is still a draft standard. But I just wanted to show this because we would like to make this a definitive standard. But earlier, a few hours ago, I spoke with Minister Michael Cirino, who has created the PASS system, which is very useful when we do the process like this. And but one of the things that we discussed, Michael and myself, is what about the 30 signatures? Because that's not in this graph yet, not in this flow chart. And I said to him, well, as long as I have been in Parliament and as a minister, I'm also in most of the sessions of Parliament. I myself have never seen a discussion about the 30 signatures. So it might be that we sort of abolished that. Then he said, well, it's in the Act of Acts, so why did we abolish it? Well, I don't know. So that's a thing that we should discuss, and we should also discuss whether we want to use this flowchart and this standard. And maybe there are people that say, okay, this and this is wrong with it. No problem. There are procedures for that to change a standard, and it's still a draft, so no problems. But I really would like to discuss this 30 signatures and whether we really would like to use this kind of flowchart, this kind of way of working for Parliament. And of course, I officially don't even have a say in it because I'm a minister. So I'm not even in Parliament. But I do run the Asgardia Institute of Standards, so I would like to have it written down as a standard. Okay, so that's my story. Thank you.
No, that's fine. Thank you very much, Jakob. I must dash though, because I do have some news now And the news now is very exciting. Chairman Lembit Opik is with us. Lembit. Anyway,
People of Earth, people of Earth, yeah. I come in peace. I'm on an aeroplane. Can you see?
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm going? Have a guess, Peter.
I would guess somewhere in Texas.
Dallas. I'm on my way. And I'm sorry I missed your chair's meeting. Jakob, I found your presentation interesting, very interesting. I would just simply say one thing, which is that we must never let process stay behind results. I've got about 5 minutes before we take off. So very briefly, I'm not sure if TJ and Evie are here. They are doing magnificent work. I can call them at the next stop that I have in 4 hours. I've got 3 things to say. We have got a fantastic momentum behind the Dallas event. Thank you, guys. Secondly, please see if you can actually do yes, Evie's here, so that's great. And TJ hopefully is here as well. They're just tremendous. They're just like wonderful people. I'm going to meet them tomorrow. It's great. They're telling me to turn my phone off, but I'm not going to do it yet. The second thing is that I've got Evie and PJ, they don't know it yet, on my TV show, which I'm going to do live from Dallas. It means you guys have to get up very early, so we're going to get global coverage for what we're doing. Thirdly, we've got hopefully 101 patches to sell, and they should be very special patches because they will witness, the patches will experience the eclipse. One last thing, I've been speaking with Dr. Asher Bailey, head of Nation. He's very pleased about the progress we're making in Dallas, but also we need to make sure that we always follow the rules for NGOs, non-governmental organizations. This will be the template so that when we get this right, we'll get everywhere right. It's so exciting. I'm also hoping that this means that colleagues here will do similar things. I promise you, if you can do as well as TJ and Evie and Teresa, who I will meet tomorrow, then we will have a fantastic 5 years. Peter's back now, but basically, let me summarize then. I will be on planes for the next 18 hours, 16 hours. Secondly, TJ, Evie, please update us because I have to put my phone off in a short while. Thirdly, I want to say that if you like what we're doing, please use the total solar eclipse as a reason to share our happiness about the cosmic world. Peter.
Thank you very much, Lambert. I'm really pleased you were able to make it. It's been an excellent meeting without you, but it's also okay now that you're here, so you haven't spoiled it. Don't worry.
You're fired. I propose a motion of no confidence in Peter.
I second that.
No,
right.
I withdraw my motion.
Thank you very much. Kind of you. I think we'll probably have to go. We'll probably go back to Jakob in a minute or two, but I know that Bridget's got her hand up. So, Bridget.
By the way, Peter, can I just say I'll stay with you. I'll suddenly leave whenever they start the safety announcement because I'm on the plane. So apologies for absence. As soon as I am told to switch your phone up, I will do so. But I'll stay with you until then. Peter, thanks.
We understand. Bridget.
Hello. Obviously I'm back from Arizona. 2 things. Lembit, did you get my email? I answered the email that you sent. Also,
yes.
Have you heard back from the people from the Planetary Society? I know that Maria from Gravity Industries did email us back. She is hoping to talk to us within the next couple of months, but I suspect due to the eclipse and the fact that they've got jetpack races started up, that they are a little busy right now, so they aren't able to meet with us.
On the first one, let me just go through this one by one because any second they're going to stop me, Bridget. Yes to the first, and I haven't got a reply from the society, but I will contact them again because I've got email when I'm on air. Sorry, in the air. On the second one, tell me the second one again.
You mean Maria from Gravity Industries answering us back?
yeah, yes, I don't know. Can we have a three-way WhatsApp with them?
I'll ask her about it.
Okay, carry on.
And the last one is I am going to try to see the totality of the eclipse in Illinois because I can't get down to Arizona. I did lose my job with SciOx after 7 years. So unfortunately, I do have lots of time on my hands. But I do have a job interview on the 10th, so cross my fingers there. But in the meantime, I figure if I can get a hold of other Asgardians going in that area, maybe we can have an event in Illinois as well as in Texas. That's all.
That's fantastic. Basically, I was hoping to move the eclipse to Wednesday, but I can't do that. So you just have to deal with the timings that's available. But you're looking fantastic, by the way, Bridget. You're looking really well. I just wish that you were there in Texas, but not very much because you're now committed to be able to do something in where you are going because you can actually make that a center of interest as well. Peter, one last thing. I'm going to go to Colorado to meet Clive Simpson for a big symposium there as well on Tuesday. But Bridget, if you can promote that and speak to Ross Cheesewright about that as well, we can promote that too. And Rebecca, hopefully, who hopefully is online, can you promote that as well? Thanks. Peter.
Right. Thank you, Lambert. Hey there.
Hi guys.
Hiya.
You call me when you finish. It's all for you.
We got a bad signal, Ada. You're coming and going.
Can you hear me now?
Can just now, yes.
Yeah, let me stand like this then. Yesterday I received an email with one document that you sent, and I respond to you. And I did my opinion, right? But when I sent the other opinion, that the document disappeared. So I wrote about that because it never happens.
1 second.
So it never happens. So I would like you to explain step by step. This document is running from long time. We know that. It's a perfect document. It's good, but we have the right to have an answer about it. Not only just read the top and the other one is blah, 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 blah. You know, had to explain some stuff, especially in that document that is the file of language. I would like to know more about that and remember that there's another document running that is gonna be speaking about it, and you know which one it is. And but it's not like blah blah blah, you know, a big to us. That document more than I don't know how many pages. And about it, we already wrote to Lambit about it, to him about it, and we just answer about the 30 segment. Back to you, Mr. Peter.
Right, thank you. I think that sounds like it's something we're going to have to speak to Lambert about when he's got his feet on the ground. So if that's all right with you, Ada, we'll leave that over for
yes.
Lambert wants to have
that's all right with me.
Lambert wants to have a quick word now, though. I'm going to jump over here. So sorry, Mayor. Lambert.
Deputy Chair, you're right. I'm just going to have to go any second now. Ada, we need to have that conversation, and we need to also be clear that we have to recognise we're all on the same side. We must work together, and that's what I'll say on that. Can I just say separately, completely separately, TJ EV, please do update us on what we're doing. I'm on the way, and it's going to be an amazingly good experience. I'm sorry if you can hear background noise at the moment. Peter, if you can agree a time that you may later have a private chat, that'd be great. Maybe we can do that next week.
Yeah, we'll do it when you're back. We'll fix it up then.
Okay.
Brilliant. Okay, and have a safe rest of your journey, Lambert. And you've got a lot to look forward to because Sarah is wearing the most wonderful hat, which
I can't see. I can't see.
I can, and I'm just disappointed that I can't be there to say hello to the hat in person, as well as to Sarah. All right.
I want to wear that hat. I can't see it, but I want to wear that hat. And is TJ with us as well? Because I'm on my phone at the moment. TJ here.
I haven't seen TJ. But okay. don't think she's here. Anyway, I'm gonna dump you now, Lambert.
I need to go. I need to go because I have to get off the line because I'm breaking the rules here. Right. Peter, can you carry on the call? And please just invite everybody who is here to involve themselves in the eclipse. I will listen, but I will quietly go as soon as I have to get the phone off. So I'll just be here.
You've just suggested it, Lambert, so I don't need to. Well done.
Do it again whenever you need to. Yep.
Doing a bit later. Okay. Thank you, Lambert.
Bye. I'll be listening, but I'll have to go in a second.
Okay, my friend. Ria.
Hi, everybody. Just coming back to Jacob's question regarding the 30 signatures. In the Act of Acts, I think it's chapter 3, section 15, it states that the group of 30 people or 30 signatures are needed, so we can't get away from that.
Right. So that's without going back and changing the law.
No, actually, sorry to interrupt you. We can actually do it as long as the Chair of Parliament or others approve something. So there is a way. If you make a good case, then the Chair of Parliament and others can do it. Peter, can you just ask Aliona and Linda to put that in for our debate next Thursday, and then I'll explain it.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Lambert. And I think finally, Jakob can come back on his presentation.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and what Ria said was correct. Of course, it is in the Act of Acts, but there's a list of parties that can initiate an act proposal, and one of them is the 30 people from Parliament. The other one is like 5% of all the Asgardians or so, and there is, I think, head of nation, but there's also chair of Parliament, and so it might well be that up until so far that I have been around here, that we have always used that option that Lambert sort of officially proposes, the act proposal, and that would be okay. However, we did have lists of names before in the past, because when I joined, I saw a few act proposals that contained lists of names. So it is still something that is in Act of Acts, and it was the main reason why PASS was created in the first place, to be able to do the administration of that 30 names, because just writing them down on a document is not that very secure way of doing it. Doing it in a proper online system like PASS is much better. And to be honest, Michael Cirino has created, our Minister of Safety and Security has created the PASS system exactly for that. But it would be good to maybe discuss this, maybe not now, but later or so, how we will continue on that. Will we still be using that 30 autographs, and will we still be using PASS for that and to write that down? Because then I would very much like to write it down in the standard on parliamentary document management, because then it's officially on paper. Yeah. And similarly, sort of to continue on that, it would be good if we somehow agreed that the standard contains the way of working of Parliament. I mean, I don't want to prescribe that. I'm just a minister, so I don't even have a role in that. But I do want to write it down how we do things here in Parliament. So I think it would help us a lot if we wrote it down, and if not only it was written down, but that we adhere to it, that we use that flow chart, for example, and the way of working, and so including the reviews and everything, and that also this way of working also is the input on how, for example, the agenda is created for the voting sessions and for the discussion sessions in the ALFs and in the digital sittings and so on. All of those things are possible. And my only concern is that we write it down and that we use it, we comply to it, we adhere to it. And then when we agree on that, then Michael can change paths a bit, because it has to be changed to be able to be used from the standard on parliamentary document management. And then we can have a nice webinar about it, and we might even be able to create a course about it for parliamentarians and so on, and whatever you want to do, or a booklet or so that it is in for new parliamentarians, because, well, it would help us very much if we have this written down and we adhere to it.
Peter, I would say that what matters most is the outcomes. Jakob's right. We need to have reliable processes. I want processes to reflect the outcomes. And therefore, let's have this conversation at now, if that's okay.
Yeah, we will do that. We will definitely do that. Now stop breaking all the laws, Lambeth. Get off that phone.
One unity, one flight. I have to go now. Okay.
All right. We'll see you soon, mate.
Thank you, Peter. I'll TJ, Evie, I'll call you at the next stop.
Right. Now, Ria, you had your hand up, but it's gone. Do you still want to speak?
No, we can have that discussion later when Lambert is there. It's just that I don't want the 30 signatures. I don't think we should remove the 30 signatures option, because the other people, like Chair of Parliament, the Prime Minister, if they decline something that we wanted voted in, we would like to have an option where we can have with 30 signatures, get it passed through to get it reviewed and looked at. So it's just to keep options open and not make it one-sided.
I think that's a very good point, Ria. And but as it happens in the current Parliament, it's highly unlikely that if the Parliament wanted to do something, the Chair of Parliament wouldn't agree. So we get it through that way, but it's got to be an option. I don't think anybody's suggesting that the 30 signatures option be removed. That's got to still be there. I think whatever happens, other processes may be introduced, but that's got to be there. And I don't think there's a person amongst the MPs who would argue with that. So yeah, I think you're perfectly right. You make a very good point, and you certainly have my backing, and I think most of Parliament, if not all of it, because there's an old phrase that courts have it as well in England, but it's the same with Parliament. Parliament cannot bind itself, and Parliament is supreme. And if Parliament decides it wants to do something and the process says you can't, Parliament can change the process, because at the end of the day, with the three tiers of government, the one which has supreme authority is Parliament. But anyway, we'll continue that debate another day. But I think the 30 signatures got to remain there. It must remain there, whatever else is there. Anybody else want to comment on this? Jakob, thank you, by the way, very much for that presentation. Extremely useful and well thought out. Anybody else? Oh, yes, Bridget's got a hand up.
One thing I have noticed over the years, and I have been with Asgardia a while now. One thing I've noticed when it comes to the 30 signatures is very few of the proposals I've seen going through are able to get the full 30 signatures. Gaia knows when I have put up proposals that I've seen where mine won't get 1 or 2, or even, the more popular ones will get 7 or 8, but we see very few signatures. I would encourage parliamentarians to actually read through each thing that comes through and choose whether or not to put their signature. Maybe even do where you could do a copy paste and do an electronic, a quick signature that way if you agree with it. But one thing I've noticed, and I know I've been a little guilty of this, and I do apologize, is we're not getting a lot of interaction on the proposals that are being put up. And that can be a problem as well, because when something goes up and people are like, whoa, I didn't even know this existed. Well, you should have known if you'd read through what's being put up and kept going with it. So as far as 30 signatures, again, I agree with you. Nobody is asking to remove that. But I think people should also understand that getting 30 signatures, at least right now, is pretty tough, which is why so few go through at this time. But we should really start pushing for people to really read them, comment, and be more active. And again, I know I've been guilty of skimming and not really paying as much attention as I should, and I do apologize for that. But I do agree with some people about the 30 signatures being difficult, because it can be.
Yeah, it is. But I think what's important is if Parliament comes into conflict with government and with its chairman, Parliament has to have that power available to it. May not use it very much now, may be difficult to get 30, but if we had our dander up, if we were angry and we wanted to take government to task, or even our chairman of Parliament, we can do it. And if it's there on the books, nobody can stop us. And I think that's what's so important. Lambert wanted to have a quick word, even though he's not supposed to be speaking.
I've delayed the flight on purpose for 200 people just to be involved. I think that there's something wrong with the technical side of the flight. The answer to you is that the 30 is, like Peter says, an insurance policy. If we have a chair of parliament who doesn't listen, or if there's something which is very important, which must be put forward, once you have 30 signatures, it has to be put forward. At the moment, one person is enough, because obviously I work closely with you. I can make mistakes, and anyone who follows me in 20 or 30 years' time can make mistakes. So as you both said, especially Peter, if somebody in my position does not listen, the 30-person signature thing guarantees the thing must be on the agenda. Peter.
Thanks, Lambert. Ada.
Yes, I agree with Bridget. You should read very well the document that you're gonna sign. But up to now, as we know, in Justice, we got only 8 documents with 30 or more signatures since 2018. We don't have no more, only 8 documents to talk with Lemby and what they're gonna do about it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, anybody else want to move on to something else or to continue?
TJ, Evie.
I can give an update.
Go on.
Greetings from Texas. We're about 18 hours and counting until Lembit arrives. TJ, Teresa, and I are putting the final touches on all of our plans, from not only the reception for AMPs on Sunday nights, but the event on Monday, and then hopefully a happy hour for everybody on Monday evening, so that we can kind of circle up and kind of review the goods and the bads and the uglies of the event. But the biggest thing, I've spoken to Lembit, and I've spoken to Ross and TJ and Teresa. The biggest thing that we could use everyone's help with now is promoting the event. I know that there's a lot of information floating around the Slack in general, but I will consciously repost not only the details for the event, but the day of, we will be posting in not only in Slack, but we will be posting using the hashtags that Rebecca was kind enough to make, so that we can just disseminate the information as it's happening. Again, I would also ask everyone to please tune in to Jason's live stream. We will be live streaming the eclipse event through his amazing telescope with a filter, so that it is safe for everyone to watch. We will also be live streaming from the event. I'm sure Lembit will make at least a short appearance, just giving everybody an update as to the goings on. They are expecting at least 250,000 people to descend upon Dallas, Texas. They're guesstimating, 65,000 people will be at the event that is less than a mile from us. My biggest fear right now is that we're not going to have enough glasses, because I think we have about 300 glasses left. But if the numbers that I'm hearing are correct, it's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be a lot of fun. What else? Eclipse ice cream will be unveiled on Sunday evening, so we'll make sure to pictures of that. We do have a Spotify playlist for the eclipse that I will also post to make sure that everybody has it. Our small army of volunteers confirmed today, and so now we just wait for Lembit to arrive. So thanks everybody. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Benedetto. Thank you, everybody who has just been Ferda, who's, sorry, I'm looking, Ariadne. My screen's all over the place. Everyone, Carol, who's been super duper duper supportive of just not only the project, but just helping. A kind word is always appreciated. So wish us luck, guys. Pray for sun, and I promise you we will do you proud on Monday.
Peter, I'm going to keep interrupting. I'm sorry, but
it's all right, Lembit.
It's literally, to be serious, at any moment now they're going to shut me down, because I'm going to fly another 2,000 kilometers in my 12,000 kilometer odyssey. TJ and Evie are the pioneers. This is so stressful. This is the first time we've done it. We have to recognize there are some NGO related legal issues, but I think we're going to fix them. TJ, Evie, and to the legal team, I promise you that we will fix that tomorrow evening. It's going to be fantastic. Also, there are 101 patches to buy, and each one is worth a lot of money, because each patch will witness the eclipse. In addition, final point, I'll just make this as a general point. Tomorrow, Peter, hopefully you and I can also be involved in the conversation with Evie, TJ, Teresa, who is actually the person who came up with the idea, and the others as well. I will now leave. I have to leave because I can hear the shutting the door. This is the first time we've done such a big event, and I'm absolutely proud of everybody. Oh, Ferda's bought one. And Ferda, as soon as this eclipse is over, I will make Evie and TJ answer all the questions that you've got about the embassy. Peter's laughing at me, but he's a legal man. He knows that until I actually sign something, it doesn't count. But TJ and Evie will make me do it. I'm going to go now. I'm going to take off. Onwards to victory.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lembit. Right. Anybody else got anything else? I mean, it's so exciting, the celebrations around the eclipse.
Rebecca, you need to get Rebecca to speak.
Rebecca? Well, apparently you have to speak, Lembit has just said. Apparently.
Yes,
about
you do.
Publicity elements.
About promoting the eclipse. I just saw your message. Can I get Evie and TJ to send you a summary? Can you send 500 words to Rebecca, please? That'd be fantastic if you can do that in your words, and Rebecca will then promote it. And also, I'm going to put it into all my non-Asgardia websites too. I know. Okay, so TJ, Evie, can you get Rebecca? Can you send TJ and Evie Christina's email, and then they can do that. I know I keep interrupting. It's a bit chaotic because I'm actually not normally on route, but there's a very good reason for it. So Rebecca, can you send TJ and Evie Christina's email, and then we can make sure that that gets covered in that way.
Right. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, as I was saying, I don't think there's going to be a great deal more to discuss tonight. This is the most exciting event that I've ever been involved with in my history with Asgardia, and I hope that it's the first of many such events. We can't call for an eclipse every 5 minutes, but there will be other things, and it's just wonderful. It lifts our profile, it lifts our spirits, and hopefully it lifts our recruitment. And so let's just make the most of it. Let's enjoy it. Let us thank those who have been behind it and those who are working so hard with regard to it. And let us hope it's the most wonderful and successful event, such as that which we anticipate and hope for. So thank you very much to all concerned. And I'm disappointed TJ is not here, but Dr. Clark can carry on the words back to TJ, and Lambert will give her a hug when he sees her as well from me.
And Dr. Asher Bailey has also wished us best wishes, and specifically to the team, to Dr. Clark and also to TJ. So he is completely 100% behind it, and they are going to be broadcasting on my show on Saturday and Sunday. Peter.
Brilliant all around. Well, before Lambert gets arrested for speaking on the aircraft, has everyone said what they need to say? I'm just bowled over. I just want to go and bask in the prospects of what's going to happen at the eclipse for us. So thank you again. Thank you, all of you. And thank you for making it so easy to chair this meeting tonight, despite the many interruptions from our chair. So thank you one and all. And I will bring proceedings to a close. There's no any other business, because I didn't really bring any business. I just brought myself, you brought yourselves, and that's sometimes the best way. We got up to 31, so when it goes down to 15, we'll turn everything off. And in the meantime, safe trip, Lambert, and safe project, Dr. Sarah, and make it a big one, make it a good one, and give them some hell from me. Asgardia, here we go. Good night, all.
See everyone later.
Be well, people.